gruesome methods used by Mongols to terrify enemies. The Mongols were not just conquerors, they were the ultimate force of destruction. They didn't just defeat their enemies, they crushed their will to fight. Their reputation alone was enough to make entire cities surrender without a single arrow being fired. But what made them so terrifying? Let's explore the most gruesome methods they used to spread fear like no other empire in history. Total annihilation. If a city resisted, the Mongols wiped it off the map. No survivors, no buildings, no future. The message was clear: resist and you will be erased. The Mongols believed in swift and decisive action. They gave cities a choice: surrender and be spared, or resist and be destroyed. Their devastating approach ensured that others surrendered without a fight. Some accounts claim entire populations were executed, with only skilled workers spared. This method wasn't just about winning battles, it was about creating a legacy of fear that spread across continents. Few armies could stand against them, knowing what awaited them if they lost. And if that wasn't terrifying enough, they ensured their victories left a lasting impression. Pyramids of skulls. After a conquest, Mongols built massive pyramids of their enemies' skulls. Imagine walking past a city's remains and seeing thousands of heads stacked as a warning. Horrifying, right? This was their way of ensuring no one dared to resist. When they sacked Nishapur in 1221, it is said that they executed over 1 million people and built towering skull pyramids as a grim reminder of the wrath. These grotesque monuments sent one clear message: defy the Mongols and your fate will be the same. But physical destruction wasn't enough. They also manipulated the minds of their enemies before even arriving. Psychological warfare. They spread exaggerated stories of their brutality. Survivors were left alive on purpose to spread fear to the next city. The Mongols didn't just fight wars, they made sure everyone feared them before the battle even started. They allowed some captives to escape so they could warn others about the horrors of Mongol invasions. These terrified survivors would describe gruesome details of massacre, torture, and devastation, which often led entire cities to surrender without a fight. The psychological impact of their tactics made conquest swifter and easier. And for those who thought they could hide behind their city walls, the Mongols had a brutal strategy waiting. Human shields. Captured civilians were forced to march in front of Mongol armies. Defenders had to choose: kill their own people or be overrun. When attacking fortified cities, the Mongols placed prisoners, women, and children in front of their advancing forces, forcing defenders to shoot at their own people or be overrun. This tactic weakened the morale of defenders and made it harder for them to resist. It also demonstrated the Mongols' complete disregard for human life. In some cases, captured soldiers were also forced to fight against their own people, adding another level of psychological torment. And if defenders thought they had won when Mongols retreated, they were in for a deadly surprise. Fake retreats. One of the most effective tricks was pretending to flee. When enemies chased them, Mongol warriors suddenly turned around and attacked from all sides. What seemed like victory became instant defeat. The Mongols perfected this tactic, luring enemy forces into ambushes. Their cavalry would stage a chaotic retreat, tricking enemies into believing they were winning. Once the enemy pursued too far, Mongol reinforcements would close in from hidden positions, surrounding and annihilating them. This tactic was used time and time again, from China to Persia to Europe. Even the strongest armies fell for it. But when trickery wasn't enough, the Mongols turned to environmental warfare. Poisoning water supplies. They cut off or poisoned water sources, making survival impossible for resisting cities. When water runs out, surrender comes fast. The Mongols understood that sieges could be won without direct combat. By contaminating or blocking access to water, they forced desperate cities to surrender. They diverted rivers, set fire to crops, and even poisoned wells, ensuring that resistance was futile. Without water, even the most fortified city could not hold out for long. This brutal but effective strategy made their sieges shorter and reduced Mongol casualties. They didn't stop there. They also waged war with deadly disease. Using disease as a weapon, they hurled infected corpses over city walls, spreading plagues. Some historians even believe they played a role in bringing the Black Death to Europe. The Mongols didn't just rely on brute force, they used biological warfare. During the siege of Kaffa in 1346, they catapulted plague-infested bodies into the city, leading to one of the earliest recorded instances of germ warfare. The disease spread rapidly, devastating the population and forcing the city to surrender. Some believe Mongol trade routes helped spread the Black Death across Asia and Europe, but they didn't just attack people, they attacked belief systems too. No respect for the holy. Churches, mosques, temples, nothing was sacred. They burned religious sites to the ground and killed priests. Nothing stood in their way. The Mongols were ruthless in their destruction of religious institutions. In Baghdad, they burned the House of Wisdom, destroying countless books and scientific knowledge. Monasteries, temples, and mosques pillaged, and religious leaders were executed or enslaved. They saw religion as a tool of control and spared no effort in breaking the will of their enemies. And when it came to war logistics, they had an unbeatable advantage: lightning-fast communication. They had the fastest communication system of their time. Spies and messengers ensured their enemies heard terrifying news before they even arrived. By the time the Mongols showed up, their reputation had already won half the battle. The Mongol YAM system was an intricate network of relay stations, allowing messages to travel at unmatched speeds. The system helped them coordinate attacks, gather intelligence, and spread fear. Cities heard about Mongol invasions long before they arrived, often leading rulers to surrender out of sheer terror. And even after the battles were won, their controlled tactics continued. Mass deportations. After a conquest, they uprooted entire populations, forcing them into exile. They destroyed cultures, eliminated resistance, and spread their influence everywhere. Skilled workers were taken to Mongol cities, while those deemed useless were enslaved or executed. By moving entire populations, they disrupted local resistance and ensured that conquered lands remained under Mongol control. This large-scale displacement reshaped demographics across Asia and the Middle East. It was a tactic of control that ensured their dominance long after the battles were won. The Mongols were more than warriors, they were terror itself. Their ability to combine brute force with mind games made them the most feared empire in history. Their tactics reshaped the world, leaving a legacy of destruction and dominance. Would you have fought back or surrendered? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.